Welcome to the Thomas & Mack Center in Las Vegas. Mountain West late night, Boise State and UNLV. And a matchup that could go right down to the wire with Coach Bob Wenzel, Chris Lewis on hand. Boise State coming off a big win against Utah State. UNLV coming off of a ranked win on the road against New Mexico. Both teams feeling good heading into this matchup.
UNLV is so much better than they were last year. They beat Dayton also, who was ranked 21 at the time. Their defense is scattered. They get after you, they pressure, they turn people over 20 times per game. That's #1 in the country.
Max Rice, the head coach's son, carving inside the paint off the front of the rim, and the ball belongs to UNLV.
Najee Smith last year didn't start a game, and he is a very, very important player on this team. Defensively, Mr. Energy for Boise. Weave action.
Jordan McCabe, game's first substitution, checking in at the guard spot.
I'm sure Harkless will be back pretty quickly.
Underneath, Rodriguez has it poked away by Smith. Clock down to 3. Webster has to recognize, rise and fire. Well short, didn't even hit the rim. Shot clock violation.
This is going to be a very good game. Interesting difference in the way they play defense. Both very good. UNLV steals the ball, pushes it down. More position, kind of solid defense on the part of Boise and Leon Rice. Marcus Shaver here with the ball. A little bit of an ankle problem lately.
McCabe pulls in the rebound. McCabe with 12 points off the bench in the win against New Mexico. Turnover. Dagenhart left open. He fires his first 3 and knocks it down. The sophomore Tyson Dagenhart, Boise State's second 3 tonight.
He is playing center for this team right now. He's only 6'7". The other 2 forwards are also 6'6", 6'7". So they're a small team, but they rebound well. Abo right here, guarding on the perimeter.
McCabe gets past Shaver, off glass.
A little bit of a lazy defense there by Marcus that time. McCabe transferred from West Virginia. Kruger went definitely into the portal. Got a bunch of Division I transfers, and they're gelling quite nicely.
A healthy 3 from Max Rice, his second triple so far in this one.
That's from Paradise, Nevada. A lot of movement by the Rebels, and then dribble penetration.
Gilbert tries to shuffle to Milwaukee, and it's Boise State possession.
A lot of action so far in this game. Najee Smith right there. Rice from very, very deep.
And there's his dad, head coach Leon Rice.
You better not foul Max Rice. He's shooting 93%, 26 out of 28 on the year.
Might not want to leave him open for 3 either. Shooting just shade under 40% from deep. This time into the paint, gets fouled on the way up. And there you go, Max Rice. Hey, you're a coach, you know what's coming. Rice heading to the line. Kevin Kruger, the head coach for UNLV, son of Lon. Second year here, you mentioned these 2 years, he's utilized that transfer portal to have a competitive team within the Mountain West.
He was a very good player himself. We were talking about quick guards in the league at the practice session today, and Kruger said, you know, you can't toy around with some of these guys. They're so quick. And he said, I should know because I was not quick, and I was a point guard. But it was a good educational point because he said, once your point guard, if he's against a super quick guy, once he gets one shoulder, he's just got to go that way. You can't toy around with the ball and bounce it too much close to your body. You've got to go.
Rice splits those free throws, ends a streak of 16 made free throws in a row.
What prompted that conversation, I was asking him about New Mexico because Jalen House is the best defensive guard in this league. There's no doubt about that. He is unbelievable.
And the challenge that Keyshawn Gilbert, who's a young guard, just a sophomore, with the controls for UNLV. That was a tough task. He got benched early in that game, responded well, came back and was strong. Speaking of strong, Degenhardt on the interior, a quick 5.
Because he's the center, he's drawing the center's defense, and he takes people away from the basket. He's made it 3. He's made that drive already.
McCabe for Gilbert.
This is their game. Dribble penetration, try to get it inside. McCabe can shoot the 3.
And there it is. High rise 3. It falls.
You could see that coming a mile away.
You said he could shoot it. 34% on the season before the game. Going around the arc and shoot around. He was not missing. Chibuzo Abo glides to the rim with a vicious first step.
Whiting, number 15, in for Boise. He started 4 games when Shaver was injured, and he got some very valuable playing time. Little point guard. Boise last year won the regular season Mountain West and won the conference tournament, and of course went to the NCAA.
And that's what UNLV does, though. On the other side, they get their hands on passes, they force turnovers. The best team in the conference at forcing giveaways. Strong start for Boise State. For those of you watching on our free streaming coverage, it will conclude after the commercial break. We will continue on CBS Sports Network. You can find us by going to cbssportsnetwork.com/channel finder. UNLV, the hosts. Boise State, their road team, off to a good start, leading 14-7 over UNLV. With Coach Bob Wenzel, Chris Lewis here with you. Both teams feeling good heading into this matchup. Boise State a big win against Utah State over the weekend. UNLV upended ranked New Mexico at the pit in a sold-out crowd.
15,000.
It was loud.
Yeah.
It was hot in there. So both of these teams feeling like they can string together something in conference play.
Yeah, I don't think there's any doubt about it. Both feel like they're going to be at the top of the conference standings, as at some point during the course of the season. They both have 12 wins already. So far, Boise State has gotten off to a very good start offensively in this game.
They shot it well against Utah State, too.
Right at the beginning of the game, Rice hit a 3, and then he hit another one later on. Degenhardt right here, 6'7", 230, can put the ball on the floor against a lot of bigger players, and then taking the ball to the basket as well. Some keys to the game, are making them miss. Boise is not a team that's going to turn over the opponent. They got to make them miss, get the rebound, and they've got to handle the pressure that UNLV is going to bring. The Rebels have to force 15 turnovers. That's very, very important. There you can see Max Rice. He's got 7 already. Coach's son. I used to think of him as a little guy. He's about 6'5" and about 210 right now. He's not so little anymore.
Spent some time in that weight room. DJ Harkless, he left earlier with an injury, fell on his right side. He is back looking sharp, the leading scorer for the Rebels.
That hip didn't bother him much. He's right back in.
Shaver pushes off. It's an offensive foul.
Keyshawn Gilbert moving his feet. Harkless went down early in the game. First possession. He went hard to the basket, slipped on his foot, and came down on his right hip. And he is right back in, and his first touch, he scored. Leading scorer on this team, 21 at the pit in the second half.
Was awarded the Mountain West Player of the Week. Offensive foul called on UNLV with Victory Walko, who checked into the game, setting the illegal screen.
Interesting, the two different kinds of defense we just saw. A charge taken by Keyshawn right there on the last possession, and then being in the right place, the defense for Boise. Milner, big man, 6'10", high post center. Only averages about 7-8 minutes a game.
Kobe Young also in for Boise State on the wing.
A lot of switching going on by the Rebels here. See that? That maintains pressure.
Degenhardt traps. Young fires. Well short.
Great team.
Harkless has Degenhardt on skates. Can't finish.
Both teams will push the ball. Shaver does not look 100% to me. I know he hurt his ankle. It's been bothering him a little bit.
He rolled the ankle against San Jose State, came back into that game and hit the game-winning shot under 5 seconds left.
McCabe could have got a flop on that. He tried to take a charge off the ball.
And going up with a shot, Degenhardt gets fouled.
He is a strong dude, I'll tell you. Very, very physical player. You mentioned earlier that Degenhardt was the freshman of the year in the Mountain West. Watch this strength here. 6'7", 230, puts it on the floor. 3 guys try to challenge him, and he gets his shot off. Pretty good free throw shooter, 72% on the year. Those are his numbers, as you can see. Very, very good player.
Second foul called on Victor Iwuako, so he heads back to the bench. Iwuako in. That's Coach Leon Rice for Boise State.
You talk about a model of consistency. Leon Rice is it. He's done a tremendous job at Boise in his 13th year.
Rare couple of misses at the line for Degenhardt. McCabe up top, and Milner reads it.
Nice movement. Milwaukee trying to guard Shaver, and he does a good job challenging that shot.
And then a loose ball foul called on Milner. Lucas Milner on defense on that last possession, knocking it away. Assistant coach Mike Burns was telling us he learned a lot of that positional defense from Mladen Armush, who was a big center for Boise State last year, part of their excellent defense a year ago.
Mountain of a man Armush was, boy. He really helped that team. That was a great team.
Pavle Kuzmanovic checks in for Boise State.
Serbian player. They have a great youth program in Serbia. He was part of that. Solid. Notice the positioning on the floor here. Nobody's trying to gamble. You guard your own man as much as you can, and you make them miss. That was an excellent, excellent possession of defense.
Well, you mentioned there's a different style of defense for UNLV.
Yep.
Abo, high-rise three, and McCabe boxes out for the board.
Leon Rice has used a lot of players earlier in this game. He understands that it's going to be a long, long game. There's a lot of quickness involved, a lot of exertion at the defensive end. He's got to try to keep his players fresh.
McCabe long two. Jordan McCabe has the jumper working. The last couple of games, he's had the touch.
12 at the pit against New Mexico. He was a starter all last year, and Gilbert beat him out. But he kept a positive approach, and he's getting more minutes because of it.
He's the only returning starter for UNLV, and he doesn't start.
That'll tell you something.
Abo mid-range. Najee Smith flies, but McCabe sneaks past him. Wisconsin native, known for his handles. Ever since he was a teenager, ball is life would profile his high school stardom.
UNLV running Rebels. Put the ball on the floor. Pull up jumper by McCabe. 14-11. Boise State on top. We're going to show you Boise's solid position man-to-man defense in this thing. Right here, this is going to be a one-on-one situation the entire time. But watch these other players. These guys are going to stay home with their man, so there's no dribble penetration and pass to a three. Notice them staying with their men. He takes them one-on-one, and they make them miss. That's solid. And right here, this is the individual defense right here that creates the terrific play. Abo really did a terrific job right there. Broncos defense first in points allowed, first in field goal percentage defense, first in three-point percentage defense, and you just saw why they do that.
Different personnel, but similar results to the team that won the Mountain West, both regular season and tournament a season ago. And that's the effort defensively by Najee Smith to knock it away. Milner runs the floor and finishes in traffic.
How about Lucas running the floor end to end, the 6'10", fifth-year player. This is really fun defense to watch. The reason they can guard the three so much is they don't help on the penetration. Now who's beat there?
That's a quick first step by Jackie Johnson, who just came in to set that up for Milwaukee.
Milwaukee from Hong Kong. Also a transfer right from Lamar.
Yeah, second year at UNLV after a couple at Lamar. Milner stumbles, regathers. It's a blocking foul.
Kruger didn't like it, but Marquise Pettigrew, the official, told him. Drive to the basket, block. Terrific play by Najee Smith. And Milner running the floor. That's good hoops right there, brother.
And Milner at the free throw line. The last foul on Keyshawn Gilbert is first.
Not great numbers, but he knows how to play when he gets in the game.
Milner was a starter for the first couple of games this season. Kuzmanovic left open.
Get out of here! Are you kidding me? From the logo.
Welcome to 2023. Pavle Kuzmanovic, his first point since December 28th. Webster, usually a shooter, showing off the muscle. The hoop in the arm.
We're seeing a lot of action in this game. Ball movement by Boise State. And Kuzmanovic knocks it in from very, very deep. Milner getting valuable minutes right here.
But it is the second foul on Milner.
That's okay. Degenhart comes right back in the game. When they have the small lineup, they still do a good job rebounding. But Milner gives Degenhart some rest on the bench because he can't play 40 minutes at that position. Webster, one of those little quick guys. They do want to take it to the basket. And as a result, they shoot a lot of free throws. The biggest stat, really, for UNLV is they have a plus 7.6 turnover margin. That's number one. And the raw numbers, Chris, UNLV has 192 turnovers on the year. Their opponents have 306.
Wow.
And there's a good example.
Just saying it out loud forces a turnover.
Pressure defense. Kuzmanovic having a tough time. Gilbert, number 10. Kruger loves him. He loves his competitive drive. He's not really a point guard, but he's learning the position.
Boise State can force turnovers as well. Rice the steal.
Man, they pass first, don't they? Man.
He's open. Rice hits right in front of UNLV's bench. Already double figures, 10 for Max Rice.
Max has an unbelievable high arc on his deep shots.
And it comes from a low release as well. He sort of shoots it maybe chin, chest high, but it gets up there.
Yeah. And the further out you go, you can't shoot jump shots from out there. Let's take a look at it. Right there, you saw that. He brought the ball down low near his hip and brought it up. But he does it quickly. If he did that slowly, he'd really have a tough time getting shots off.
Gilbert, second chance. He's physical.
He's a take it to the basket guy. They got 3 or 4 players like that on this team, and that's their signature.
Rice, no. Running Rebels, true to the name. Oh, that's another giveaway for UNLV. Gilbert and Webster not on the same page.
Watch the D right here. Fading away, didn't want to foul. And he stayed on it. Right here, this is second effort. He knew he was going to miss that shot, but followed it up. Beautiful.
Jordan McCabe back in at the point guard spot for UNLV. Kuzmanovic handles pressure. Degenhardt looks off, takes the three. Rodriguez the board.
Jackie Johnson is smelling turnover, I'll tell you that, man. That little guy is close to the ground. Kuzmanovic is having a tough time handling the ball with him on it.
Fancy footwork, Luis Rodriguez.
He's been silent so far. Big-time player, second leading scorer on this team.
Spent 4 years at Ole Miss, first at UNLV. Smith glides. Muaka rips it down.
That was an ill-advised shot there. That was 9 on the degree of difficulty scale.
To tie it. Rodriguez was feeling it. Kuzmanovic pokes McCabe.
There's UNLV's D. Come from behind.
All the handles for days. Jordan McCabe. Kuzmanovic contested three. It's short.
They are not getting quality shots right now because of the intense pressure that UNLV is bringing.
Got the crowd to gasp. McCabe even thinking about that three. Webster. And Smith pulls it down. Webster pokes and gives UNLV the lead.
Hustle, man. Hustle everywhere by the Rebels. Quickness, alertness, competitiveness. That's why they're 12-3. UNLV. McCabe the turnaround jumper. Bottom.
College basketball on CBS Sports Network is sponsored by Tums. Love food back. Nothing works faster. And by AT&T 5G. Fast, reliable, secure.
Entertaining game so far. The city that's known for entertainment, UNLV. They've scored the game's last 8. They'll take a lead over Boise State.
Boise State is 5 of 10 from three-point range. UNLV is 1 of 5. But UNLV is using their quickness of defense to turn into layups and drives to the basket. And Kevin is really doing a good job substituting, also keeping quickness on the floor at all times.
Carl Jones, little used big man for UNLV, in on this defensive possession.
He looked pretty good in practice, didn't he, today?
Yeah, he did.
I thought he moved his feet well. It's pretty strong.
Degenhardt, size mismatch.
Wow.
Great pass to set it up.
You got that right. Shaver and Degenhardt really, really connect. This weave is hard to guard, and then a screen at the end of it.
Corner specialist, Rodriguez. Rice lassos the board. Flip pass. And Rodriguez flies for the steal. That's UNLV in a nutshell. McCabe can't get the shooter's bounce. And a foul down low on Jones.
Man, do we have some action in this game or what? Three-point shooting for Boise State. It's been outstanding. Degenhardt from the right wing early in the game. And of course, Rice from the deep, deep corner. Nothing but net. Kuzmanovic from the logo. They've made 5. They got to keep making them to be in this game.
I used the fuel from the home crowd to make 11 threes against Utah State in the last game. Kobe Young short. Degenhardt offensive rebound. Rice his 3rd three. Not quite.
When you exert yourself on defense like Boise has to do against this quick team, sometimes your legs leave you on those three-point shots and they come up short.
Backdoor intended for McCabe, and UNLV saves the possession. There's Marcus Shaver Jr., the transfer from Portland. 3rd year now with Boise State. One of the great things about him, not only everything you get out of guards, but he rebounds as well as anybody in the conference, and that's a player who's 6'2".
Averages nearly 7 a game, Chris, right?
Yeah.
Unbelievable. He hasn't done a lot of it in this game.
Harkless turnaround, halfway down. Webster keeps it alive.
Size advantage on Degenhardt.
2 shots that were nearly dropped for UNLV. Still down 1. Shaver, he's short.
I'm watching this game and enjoying it and thinking nobody on either team is shy about shooting the ball. We got no shy guys out here playing.
No one's shy, no one's slow either. Getting up and down quickly and some quick shots.
Here's a quick guy right here, Webster.
Jones screen, Webster floater, yes sir.
Transfer from Hawaii. Shooting 44% from 3, 91% from the foul line, and 42% from the field overall.
He's a shooter.
Shaver is off. I'm not sure if he's going to get on. He probably will, but
Webster initial miss, follow up, Jones!
They need another big on this team. He's answering the call.
Active hands nearly forces a steal. Instead, Degenhardt finds it.
Shaver and Degenhardt again, huh?
That's a duo.
Yep. Man, do they want to put the ball on the floor and go?
They make you guard the ball. He's tough to stop. McCabe shakes free.
Rice is doing a good job on the boards. He plays with passion, I'll tell you that.
Another guy who plays bigger than his listed size. Draws 2, loses the ball. Jones, the Chicago product, has been all over the place in this stint.
UNLV on the move. Webster, floater, that's a thing of beauty.
Three lead changes so far in the first half. UNLV by 1. Coming up, AT&T at the half. Adam Zucker, Renee Montgomery, Roy Hibbert, Gary Parrish. They're standing by in the New York studio. Get you all caught up on the night's college basketball action. This Wednesday has a lot of important games throughout the nation. They'll break it down coming up on AT&T at the half.
Speaking of around the nation, here is the top conferences by net ranking. Number 5 on the list, the Mountain West. Big time league. They were good last year. They're good again this year. Might be better. And the net ranking is going to be better because the lower teams in the league have gotten way better.
It's funny, they're not pictured there is the ACC. Shows you how strange this season is in college basketball. Off the fingertips of Max Rice. It's a Boise State turnover.
What's more strange is Shaver has 0 points in this game so far. He's 0 for 4. He's got 3 assists and he's passing, but he does not look like his normal explosive self to me.
He's had games where he started slow and then hit the big shot at the end. Webster off the rim, tip, Shaver throws it, McCabe chases.
Webster and McCabe are the 2 leading scorers for UNLV right now in this game. Harkless and Rodriguez are normally their 2 best scorers.
They said that Boise State had possession in that exchange, which is why they put the shot clock up to 28 seconds instead of having it at 18. That's why they stopped play.
Boy, Kevin looks an awful like his dad, Lon, doesn't he?
Indeed.
Lon Kruger took every team he ever coached in the NCAA tournament.
5 of them. One of just 3. 5 different teams to the big dance. Degenhardt against Milwaukee. Shaver before the shot, an offensive foul.
I think it was on Milner. He ran over somebody. I think Abo is going to have to step up for Boise in the scoring area. Right here, he's moving on that screen. Keyshawn Gilbert got hit, went to the floor. That was a moving screen by Milner.
And that's his 3rd foul, so Mo Silla comes into the game. He hasn't scored since mid-December. Little used big man off the bench for Boise State.
Sometimes guys like that get the opportunity and really play good. We'll see. Silla normally wears number 14. He's wearing 40 in this game, for those of you who follow Boise closely.
Rodriguez draws the contact.
The good news for UNLV is their 2 leading scorers are not playing great, and they're still right in it.
Degenhardt's first foul. Just a minute to play in the half. Not many fouls. Just 11 combined. Milwaukee off the front of the rim and in.
You know, Boise has had to adjust. The last game they played was against the #1 3-point shooting team in Utah State. So this game, they're having to play against a team that's not particularly 3-point shooting team, so they got to guard the dribble. So it's a different kind of challenge in the last game than this game for them.
As Shaver a bit slow to get up. I mean, your point highlights the uniqueness of this league. You have different styles with different teams in different venues with different altitudes. It really is a challenging league to play in.
And the thing I love about it is we take a look at the move by Milwaukee right here, is the venues are fantastic. I mean, the Thomas and Mack Center here, 18,000. The Pit in Albuquerque, 15,000.
Monday night, 11 Eastern. Catch both Boise State and UNLV women's teams go head-to-head right here in Las Vegas. Only on CBS Sports Network. Rice off the missed free throw. Connects from downtown.
Abo just looked at Rice and perked his lips and said, "Wow, nice shot, Max."
A feisty first half. Boise State and UNLV both off of big wins. Boise State beating Utah State thanks to their hot shooting, and UNLV upending New Mexico at the pits. So Mo trying to build something here in Mountain West play early in the season.
My opinion, San Diego State's the best team right now. They've proven it. And Matt Bradley is back after starting the year slowly. He is fantastic guard.
Guys who are hard to guard off the bounce.
Yeah, and they play great D. Always. Nice.
Bounce pass from Harkless. In the air, Gilbert with the body control. The sophomore from St. Louis will strut to the stripe.
Harkless is not just a scorer, as witnessed by that pass. He had 5 assists at the Pit in their last game. He had 8 assists against San Diego State in their loss. Look at that beautiful bounce pass. And Silla does a pretty good job of coming over, but he should have hit him harder, because this is going to be an end-one opportunity. Good numbers for Keyshawn so far this year.
And big for him against New Mexico to break out of a slump. The previous 4 games, he was ice cold, just 5 in contests for a guy who was averaging 16 coming in.
Yeah, I don't think he scored against San Diego State.
Had 6 turnovers in that loss.
Good league, no doubt about it. You annotated a lot of things about it. It's going to be a fun year.
Just 7 on the trigger. Max Rice, big first half. Not that time. Rodriguez. And that'll do it for the first 20 minutes. UNLV fell behind by 8, rallied, take a 2-point halftime lead.
The coach's son is doing a great job.
And in the first half, 2-point lead for UNLV. After the break, we'll send you Adam and the gang in New York, AT&T at the half. You're watching college basketball on CBS Sports Network, the 24-hour home of CBS Sports. Downtown Las Vegas, a city that loves its basketball. UNLV, a home team, 33-31 lead as we start the second half. With Coach Bob Wenzel, Chris Lewis here with you. So coming in, we highlighted how both of these defenses effective, but they do it in different ways, true to form in that first half.
No doubt about it. UNLV, pressure, try to turn it over. Boise, solid on the other side. But we're going to highlight two guys who were scoring way differently. Justin Webster, everything off the dribble, driving the ball to the basket. Layups, floaters, getting to the free throw line. He's got 7 points, and this guy really is doing a very nice job. On the other side, we got 13 points by the coach's son, Max Rice, and it's all from three-point range. He made 1 foul shot, and the rest of his points are from deep. So, interesting contrast in styles for both of these teams, both offensively and defensively, but both play well.
Taking a look at the first half stats, highlighted there, sort of the story of the game. Boise State doing it from 3, UNLV on the inside.
Exactly, and it's going to be interesting in the second half because a guy like Harkless is only 2 for 9, and he's a guy who's the leading scorer on this team. He's used to getting in the 20s. He had 21 points in their last game in the second half,
so he's a possibility. I think that Boise has got to find another scorer because Shaver is not himself in this game. I mean, he's doing his best. He's doing a lot of good stuff, but he's certainly not trying to score like he normally would. So the likely guys are Abo and, maybe Najee Smith. I mean, I know he's not an outside shooter, but he can take the ball to the basket, score on the offensive glass.
Talking about a banged-up Shaver who's on defense against Harkless. Those two going head-to-head. He's fouled. Is E.J. Harkless, the rating Mountain West Player of the Week.
Yeah, those are his numbers on the year and tonight. So 16 versus 4. The thing with him is that they clear a side. He likes the side plays right here. A nice switch.
Sets up Rodriguez. Pulls the string.
See, Shaver would normally push that ball right there on that play, and he holds it back out. Najee Smith trying to post inside.
A 3 that drops right in front of Boise State's bench. And a foul. Jabuzo Abo, a 44% sniper.
Yeah, well, like I said, I think he's the guy that has to step up, and I think Leon Rice knows that obviously too. And he can do it. You mentioned 44% from downtown. Not a high number, but still good. And he's athletic. He can take the ball. He can score a lot of different ways. And I think this is a game where he's going to have to do that. He's got 20 a couple of times this year, and this is a night for him to do that.
Coach Leon Rice talking to us before the game, raving about the upside of Abo down the line. But this might be the type of game, as you mentioned, where he has to step up in the scoring department. Gilbert penetrates to the rim.
Man, penetrates is his name. You Google penetrate, his face is right there. He can really go. Look at that pass.
Another 3. Another one goes with contact. Jabuzo Abo, welcome to Vegas.
Oh, man. This is a terrific pass right there. He led him to the corner. 2 threes in a row, fouled twice in a row. Well, he's made an immediate contribution in the second half, as we thought he might, right?
Yeah, no doubt. A former top 100 recruit, couple years at Texas Tech, little used there. Starter here for Boise State, can't complete the 4-point play, but the Broncos will take the 3-point lead.
See, off the dribble. Quickness, power, off the dribble. 4 guys in the game who all can go.
With contact, it's an offensive foul. So Harkless, a couple of fouls here to start half number 2.
Was that Degenhardt who jumped in there? I got blocked there for a second. Yeah, he came from the weak side, and he was outside the arc, the restricted arc. So when you do that, you're going to get the call most often.
He's one of the best in college basketball. You mentioned Boise State starts small. He's the center at 6'7", but he provides that rim protection by doing just that, getting into position to draw charges, not necessarily blocking shots.
Oh, he's not going to block many shots. Look at that jump stop.
It's an offensive foul before the move.
Wow. Well, we've got Eric Curry, Orlandis Poole, and Marquise Pettigrew as our 3 officials in this game. Najee Smith is going to try to have a talk with one of those guys. McCabe had 9 in the first half, hasn't had many touches here.
He's in for Harkless. Ooh. Smith with the active hands. Races down the floor and throws it down.
Mr. Energy. Last year didn't start a game, but played a lot. And in the games he played, they won a lot of them. And this year he's a starter, and he's a glue guy. Ooh, that was a chancy pass by Milwaukee there.
Walker sets the screen. Rodriguez turns the corner. Off blast, rolls off, but a foul.
Najee Smith turns defense into offense. Picks the pocket of McCabe. And a nice little dunk at the other end, and an emphatic face as well.
Rodriguez misses. Smith.
I'll tell you, the free throw shooting has not been great in this game. That's part of the intensity level. Looks like he's got some blood on the bottom of his lip there.
Yeah, been a number of high-profile fights here in this city where you see a bloody lip like that. Harkless back in.
Because one of the guys who works here is, you know, an usher, or, you know, shows people where to go and everything around here. He was a boxing referee. Many big fights. I just was sparring with him when I went to the men's.
One guy I'm not trying to step in front of in the bathroom line, that's for sure. Najee Smith picking up some fouls.
He's breathing hard right now. Boy, Degenhardt can get into traffic and somehow get out of it all the time. And that's him right there on the tip.
Boise State thought that a UNLV player hit the rim on the initial shot, which should have made it a goaltend. Degenhardt makes that a moot point. Smith from the weak side. What a start to the second half for Najee Smith.
That looked like you on the playground in Philly.
Not quite. Abo! Jackpot!
How about that? Shabuzo. Abo. Welcome to the game, young man. On the move. Block shots, action around the rim. 45-36 Boise.
Saturday night, 7 Eastern. Running Rebels return for more hardwood action as they face the Colorado State Rams. Catch it here on CBS Sports Network. We'll be on hand for that one.
Oh, that's going to be fun.
Yep.
Isaiah Stevens had a little dip in performance lately, and there's his numbers on the season. He doesn't really qualify because he missed 7 games early to be, you know, in the top group. But the guy right now is Abo. He had 2 points at halftime. He now has 12 points, so he's got 10. And I'm not sure I've ever seen 2 fouled in the same exact spot twice in a row on possessions, and then makes a 3 from the opposite side as well. He's a player. Leon Rice is really one heck of a coach, I'll tell you that.
Abo from San Diego. Top 5 in the conference and made 3, showing why here in Vegas. 10-1 Boise State run, UNLV to try to end it. Harkless hasn't been great from 3 this season. And Degenhart vacuums in the board.
I wouldn't doubt him, though. Sometimes those averages don't really act as predictors.
Because you don't see Boise State leaving him open. They know the same thing.
That's right. Whiting hooked his man on the drive there. He's a little confused about the call, but that's what it was. There's Abo in the second half. And, I mean, he looks like a player. He makes a lot of good decisions out there. Defensively, likes to pick up the best player. He's got the best player right now. He's guarding Harkless.
Smith defends. The early steps, Coach Leon Rice wanted to travel. Shot clock at 8. Leaner. Follow Gilbert. Showing off the athleticism. Won't fall. Iwako. Third chance for UNLV. A whistle as soon as it goes through. And a coach's box warning on Leon Rice. Talked about him being upset about the lack of a travel on that last possession. So getting a warning from Marquise Pettigrew. Meanwhile, UNLV hustling within 7. Boise State, a 7-point lead over UNLV. They've made 5 of their last 6 shots. As UNLV trying to curtail a strong start to half number 2 for Boise State.
You know, there's a thing that's akin to one another in this game, and that is Shaver has got an ankle tweak, so he's not himself. Harkless is not himself. Remember when he went down the first play of the game and hurt his hip? You know, he's 2 for 10 or something right now. That's very unusual for him. So 2 of the best players on the team in terms of scoring are not up to their standard. So other people have to step up. And of course, McCabe and Webster did it in the first half for UNLV, and Abo is doing it in the second half.
We've seen Harkless, though, get hot in a short amount of time. He had 21 points in the second half against New Mexico. Whiting halfway down. Degenhart tips it home.
I'll tell you, man, he's got some bounce. He doesn't look it, but he's got some bounce.
Sophomore out of Spokane. Last year's Freshman of the Year. He won the Conference Freshman of the Week 9 different times. Wow. Gilbert, scoop layup off glass. Pedal to the metal on the other side. Boise State pushes.
Rice looks a little tired here.
Whiting.
How about that? He says, hey, I started 4 games this year for Boise. What do you mean I can't play?
The high school class of 2020 then served a 2-year mission in Finland. Luis Rodriguez from downtown. His first 3 in this one.
Shaver is at the scorer's table ready to come back in. Whiting's doing a good job here. Uh-oh.
Degenhart for Smith.
Notice how Degenhart stopped on 2 feet to avoid the charge. That was a possible charge happening on the dish off. He is a smart player.
He's known for drawing charges, so perhaps knows how to avoid them.
Yep, indeed.
Harkless, he was bumped, no foul. A loose ball foul on the way down. It'll stay here with UNLV.
Whiting on the move. Offensive rebound by Tyson Degenhart. Just punches it up there. And how about the pass right here? A little dish with his left hand. A dish to Najee.
In separate games this year, Degenhart has led Boise State in all the major stat categories: points, rebounds, assists, blocks, and steals. Shows you his versatility.
Oh, how about that rebound? I like this guy.
That guy is Chibuzo Abo, who's had a big second half.
He's got 10 in the second half. Shaver back in.
Degenhardt draws a double. Whiting wants three. Give him three. Wow, Whiting.
When Shaver was at the table to come in, I thought he was coming in for Whiting. Instead, he came in for Rice.
Rodriguez fires right back. Combo in his favorite corner. Shot clock at 10. Whiting, playmaker. Degenhardt on the other side. Milner with a great tip pass. Tic-tac-toe passing for Boise State.
I think we got some fatigue right now, both teams, because the scoring is coming too easily at both ends. Whiting is gasping for breath right now.
Broncos ball up 10. Whiting still a playmaker. Sets up Milner.
The defense is not there for the running Rebels. I think Kruger needs a timeout. He's got two guys at the bench waiting to come in, Mwaka and Webster.
You're right, Coach. A lot of huffing and puffing.
Yes. They ran by here. One guy asked me for a sip of my Coke.
And you weren't sharing. Gilbert is hacked. Milner on the dribble drive defending.
I'll tell you what, though, Milner's doing a good job. I know he's got a bunch of fouls in this game, but he has really made an impact on the game. Really, he's doing a good job.
Fourth foul on Milner. You mentioned a bunch of fouls.
Well, Silla is in for him right now, and Silla didn't get a lot of. You mentioned he doesn't get much time, and he didn't get a lot of minutes in the first half. He's on Mwaka.
Harkless, scars, floater is short, and there's Silla.
Silla did a good job immediately, right? Didn't foul, put his hands straight up.
Left open, Whiting in transition and buries it. The Burley High School products. Chase Whiting has erupted in Vegas in a timeout, UNLV. First as a playmaker, Whiting finds his big, but he was a scorer in high school and shows why in Vegas. Taking a look at the two teams there, Loyola Marymount, what a start to the year for them. Close to 10 made threes a game.
St. Mary's, always good. Always one of the best defensive teams in the country under Randy Bennett. And, of course, they will have two games against Gonzaga this year also, which will decide a lot about the West Coast Conference.
Well, Chase Whiting has been sensational for Boise State in this second half. He's from Burley, Idaho. From a basketball family, mom Amber played and now is the head coach for women's basketball at BYU. This is her first year. She was the high school head coach at Burley High just last year, and now leading the way at BYU.
Well, he plays with great enthusiasm. There's no doubt about that. And you mentioned that he went on a Mormon mission, LDS mission. So he's a little older. It's not like he's a young guy.
Harkless is fouled on a three. Well, there's a young guy mistake. As Whiting reaches in on the shooter. Third foul on Whiting. Already the seventh against Boise State in the second half.
Last year, when Boise was 3-4, Leon Rice put a ladder on the board and said, each game is a step, and we just have to focus on that game. It's easy to say that to guys, but to use that kind of analogy, and I think he's using it again this year. Live in the moment, and he talks to his players about enjoying that as well. A really, really interesting cerebral approach to things, and I think that's why they shoot so freely and you know, play with the passion that they do. And this isn't something new. I mean, they've been doing this for 13 years.
After a slow start last year, you mentioned Boise State drew that ladder. Coach Leon Rice, that motivational technique. They did it again this year after the Nevada loss. Just focusing on one game at a time. Hey, it worked last year. Went on a big run en route to winning the conference. Marcus Saber Jr.
Welcome to the game, Marcus. He's limping. See that? Yeah. He's running back. He ran right by us there. It's hard to play defense when you're like that.
Webster, he's a corner specialist. Justin Webster, the Dallas native.
A lot of action in this one. And there's still 10 minutes to go.
Substitution pattern is going to be important. The problem for Leon Rice is Milner has 4 fouls. And Silla is a very seldomly used player.
Boise State on fire here in this second half. Shaver gets another open look before the shot clock expires. Buwaka rips down the rebound.
That rebound was above the rim.
Harkless off glass and gets the roll. You needed that.
Man, he got some speed.
We got fatigue here. A lot of guys standing around.
Standing in the corner. Abo, another 3. Gilbert going picks him up. Transition triple. Bullseye.
Great comeback.
8 straight for UNLV. Timeout, Boise State. UNLV trying to hang in there at home. 8-0 run to climb back within single digits.
3 from the corner for Webster. Harkless on the scoreboard like he should be. And then Keyshawn Gilbert from the top of the key. 3 good baskets in a row. They've got energy. It's a home game. They've got the crowd on their side.
Whiting handling the ball against pressure with Shaver in the game, who's Boise State's usual point guard this year. Whiting showing off the handle and the touch.
10 points. He's only been in the game 8 minutes. He's got 10 points.
A new freshman high as Harkless on the other end beats Boise State down the floor.
Yeah, that was tired legs. And Leon Rice just took a timeout, get some rest. Be interesting to see how both coaches sub down the stretch here.
Shaver trapped. Tips. Degenhart saves. Clock at 10. Smith never really had it. It's UNLV ball. Don't think they'll get Smith on the foul there.
Whiting on the move. When you go hard straight ahead, you use the backboard to soften the shot. And that's exactly what he did. Harkless was out of control on that play. He's really lucky that they maintained possession. He dribbled the ball almost over his head. McCabe's been silent second half. Everything off the dribble. Everything with quickness and driving it to the basket.
Big 3. Looked like it was tipped by Najee Smith. Second block shot. Rice runs into a wall. Nifty bounce pass. Smith won't fall.
Buwaka got a piece.
The 5th year, E.J. Harkless. Beautiful move.
Wow. He is strong. Max Rice back in. They need his offense.
That pass is to the 3rd row. Degenhart tells his team to settle down.
UNLV on a run. They got a piece of this one and pushed it. Harkless, that is a power guard.
Coming up next, join our Inside College Basketball crew for all the latest updates. They highlight all the action from coast to coast right here on CBS Sports Network. Great crew. Adam Zucker, Renee Montgomery, Roy Hibbert, Gary Parrish. Hey, this game in Vegas giving them a lot to talk about. Chris Lewis with Coach Bob Wenzel at the Thomas and Mack Center. Coach Leon Rice's lead with Boise State has dropped to just 6. 12-2 run for UNLV. That's the numbers from 2011 to 2012. But last year, Boise State made a name for themselves in the Mountain West, winning close games en route to winning the league.
They have beat UNLV 5 straight times. Turnover there, uncharacteristic.
Abo, that was a tough angle. He's been finding a home behind the line. That time attacking the rack.
They need him for sure. And he has responded big time. Solid D, guard your man.
2 hands on the body from Milner.
Right here, we're on the move. The steal by Rice with quick hands. And Abo off the glass nicely.
So Milner didn't get much run, reinserted into the game with 4 fouls. He picks up his 5th immediately. So he is done as Najee Smith heads to the scorer's table for Boise State.
Okay, so they're going small. Starting lineup in the game with 6:54 to go for Boise. I think Kevin Kruger's done a very, very good job with substitutions in this game. He has kept fresh players on the floor. He knows that he can take them off the dribble, which they have done remarkably well all season long, but in this game particularly.
On the 1-and-1, Milwaukee, who's just a 46% free throw shooter, misses the chance to get another shot.
They need to switch every screen on Rice when Rice is coming off. He's the most dangerous player out there.
Deep 3. Rice has that range. Degenhart chases the O-board. Gonna reach it on Webster.
UNLV takes a lot of chances on trying to steal the ball, and as a result of that, they're going to get fouls called on them, but it's worth it. Their style is very, very aggressive.
First on Webster, UNLV just 5 team fouls.
You got to guard the guy who's inbounding is the most dangerous player right here. They could get it off a screen right after this.
Corner, knocks it down, Shabuzo Abo. What a second half. 17 for Abo. Webster from the corner, he answers.
He was complaining to the official that Max Rice should have had a flop called on that play. 13 made threes for Boise in this game. Wow.
A new season high, Abo with 4 of them in this second half alone. Hand check on the perimeter, Gilbert.
Beautiful play right here. He decides to pass it, and one more. We always call that one more because the defense is rotating to the first pass out. You got to make one more pass to get the clean look, and they did it beautifully.
Abo has these games where his shot seems unstoppable. He's led Boise State in scoring 4 different times this year. Looking to do it again. Reach a poke away. Rodriguez the last to touch.
12 on the shot clock right here. Got to be alert. Inbounders should ball fake here. Fake the ball one direction and then pass it in the other.
Shaver turns the corner, acrobatic layup. Hey, he's battling through this game. It's a big shot late second half.
You can see how he's limping.
Gilbert.
That's where it's hard. When you got a little bit of an ankle twist and you're not 100%, it's hard to defend, especially against a team as quick as UNLV is.
UNLV still within striking distance. Smith stumbles, and that's an offensive foul.
Nice play by Harkless. A little up and down play right here. Finds his way to the hoop. Very nicely done. He almost face planted on that as well. Look at this drive.
Gilbert with blinding speed, tipped by Abo. And Abo slides his feet and commits the foul. And UNLV, you've talked about it all game, Coach. Their ability for all of their guards to put it on the floor, get to the rim, and puts pressure on all the defenders.
No doubt about it. And if you have one weak guy, they will take advantage of that guy. Kind of like NBA teams do. Kruger's done a remarkably good job of rebuilding this in his second season. They were 18-14 last year. They got 12 wins already, so they'll be way better than that this season. Outstanding player himself here.
Double bonus, 2 free throws. Harkless misses. 78% from the line.
Wow.
Oklahoma transfer misses both.
Wow. Wow. That's fatigue.
Hear the groans from the crowd after that second miss. Shaver, book it.
Big shot Shaver. He's living up to his reputation. Won 4 games last year on late shots.
And 1 this year. Smith, another block on a perimeter shot. That time by Rodriguez. Made away, Harkless no, and it's Boise State ball.
Man, there is some action on the glass in this game. Both teams. Gilbert can rebound for a guard. So can Shaver. You mentioned it earlier. Shaver averages nearly 7 rebounds a game. Not so much in this game, but
he's the only guy in the country under 6'4" that averages 7 boards a game. Knocked away. It'll stay with Boise State.
Marcus Shaver Jr. Call this a big shot.
Late night in the Mountain West. And great late shooting for Boise State. 72% shooting in the second half, leading UNLV by 11. Coach, let's revisit your keys.
Make them miss. They didn't do that so great. Handle the pressure. Only 11 points off turnovers. Pretty good. Forced 15 turnovers. Boise has 13, and that's 2 more than they normally have. And mid-distance shooting has been very, very good for UNLV. Late game situations. Marcus Shaver. Drive to the basket on a gimpy ankle, and then a pull-up 3 from very, very deep. He has not been offensively in the game much in this game, and you can see how he's hobbling there on his way back. He just gets fouled there.
He'll head to the line for the 1-and-1.
Yeah, that was really not a good play.
Gilbert's 3rd foul.
Take a look at this. 1 point in the first half, 8 in the second half. And that doesn't surprise us, right?
No.
Doesn't surprise us.
He's done it throughout his entire Boise State time. The only difference in this game is he has a companion on this road trip. He brought along his dog, Levi, his dachshund, on the trip from Boise to Las Vegas.
He also brought along Whiting to help him in the backcourt.
I don't know what breed of dog that is.
That guy's a dog, I can tell you that, man.
Got that dog in him.
Weave, this is what they were running at the beginning. Then a high post and a clear out. Here's the clear out.
Harkless in and out.
That's a foul on Dagenhart. Iwako really is going to the offensive glass. And Dagenhart had to undercut him a little bit right there. A tap on the head play. You see Najee Smith right there tapping his head.
Yeah, right at your screen.
That's a call that they have. Maybe it's their press offense. You know, get ready for the press offense, or it might be a play in the half court. A lot of time you have visual signals because there's so many loud places that you can't just call the play by its name. So tap of the head is the visual signal for the play.
Walker bricks that one. We've talked about
this free throw's a little evident right here, huh?
Yeah, those missed free throws being the key.
Also, Webster is on Max Rice. Better not leave him. Nice switch. One more.
Dagenhart says, "Instead, I'll do it myself, coach."
Ho, 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 ho. The door got wide open on that one. Sometimes when you scramble around like UNLV does, you know, that's going to happen.
UNLV needs this one. Rodriguez is short. And the rebound's tipped out of bounds. Iwako wanted a foul. He didn't get it.
Dagenhart fakes to the outside, and there's nobody home right here. That was the easiest basket of the game for them. Boy, he plays a lot of minutes, doesn't he, Dagenhart? Power forward, banging underneath the boards, scoring. Handling the ball on the outside. Got both guards on the left side here, Shaver and Rice.
Shot clock at just 5. Smith knocked away. Harkless, great hands.
Yeah, strong hands.
Webster maneuvers. Rodriguez elevates. And there's Dagenhart on the spot again. He knows that restricted area like the back of his hand. It's an offensive foul.
Knowledgeable player. I mean, that is a heck of a drive right there. I mean, he got past everybody except Dagenhart. Right there, feet outside the restricted arc. Boy, you know, block shots are so much more exciting, but you don't get a foul on the other team when you block a shot,
That's
right?
true.
You know, and you might not get the ball either, right? You know, you block it and they get it. So really, a charge is a better play, but it's not as exciting.
I mean, tell that to Tyson Dagenhart, who's used that weapon to help anchor a Boise State elite defense for now the 2nd straight year.
Yeah. You're right. He was doing it last year as a freshman.
Shaver to put on the finishing touches. Exclamation point, he's fouled.
Oh, my goodness. You know, he forced the switch. No emotion from Kevin Kruger right there. He forced the switch, and Iwako walked him. Wow. Tough call. You can't blame this kid. I mean, he really is an aggressive player, and he really goes after it. He's not used to guarding guys that far away from the basket.
And that's the thing about this UNLV defense. You mentioned they switch everything. So sometimes you might get one of those unfavorable matchups.
Shaver hit a lot of iron on that last shot. That one's more better.
Another game in double figures for Marcus Shaver after a slow start.
All right, quality shots here now for the Rebels. That's early and a miss. Still a lot of time here, you know. I mean, but I mean, they can't overcome this, obviously, you know, with 82 points now. But this game is a lot closer than the score would indicate.
And what an offensive explosion for Boise State in the second half. They're shooting 73% since halftime, and that'll go up. I mean, he's coming out of the game. Yeah, he came down wrong on that last attempt. That's the last thing Boise State fans want to see. Smith, emphatic rejection. But that does mean Shaver has to stay on the floor. And there's that whistle. Abo commits the foul.
Gates wide open because they're gambling, and that's what happens. Watch his face here when he comes down. Yeah. So Whiting is in. He's done a remarkably good job in this game. And if you're wondering, Boise plays at Wyoming next game. Of course, UNLV, really a very, very good effort in this game.
And the thing about this conference, Coach, you don't get a break. I mean, especially with San Jose State much improved. Boise State, their next 3 games, at Wyoming. They lost at Wyoming last year. Nevada, a team that they already lost to this year. And then at New Mexico, the Pit, which has been rowdy all season long. That's a fun next 3. Amo, he made everything else in this half. Whiting will take it. And offensive rebound, Boise State. A road win. Always valuable in this conference.
Great game. Intensely played by both teams. Well played by both teams.
For UNLV, it'd be their 4th loss in their last 6 games since starting the season 10-0.
Yeah, and that's a little misleading, you know, because of the severity of the schedule that they played. And they had to play San Diego State here, and it gave them a really good game also.
It's Boise State who comes on the road, picks up the valuable win. Big second half on offense, 84-66. Boise State 3-1 in the Mountain West. Up-to-date standings. Boise State, one of 3 teams with just 1 conference loss. Meanwhile, UNLV picks up their 3rd conference defeats.
Look at the right-hand side, though. Those are the numbers, you know, because it's so early. You look at the left side, you know, the right-hand side is really what you want to look at. The number of wins they've got all told.
Fun one in Vegas. For Bob Wenzel, Tom Witch, John Coleman, and our entire CBS crew, I'm Chris Lewis. This has been a presentation of CBS Sports Network, the 24-hour home of CBS Sports. Coming up after the break, it's Inside College Basketball in New York.